Just to clarify, the removal of some content on the basis of unsourced/poorly sourced isn't an endorsement of the other sources. I don't doubt that there are other sources that shouldn't be considered particularly reliable, and therefore content which is based upon those sources should be removed. On the general issue of sourcing this article, that UVB-76 may be a secret radio station of some description doesn't mean we should lower our requirements for information to be poorly sourced. Where appropriate sourcing is difficult/impossible, we either have to have a brief article which covers the basics, or where there are reliable sources, we simply don't have an article.
That's the point. If you really look at their rules, we've been putting up information from our blogs.
However, there is a rule, which is WPV, states that reliable sources are required only when the information is likely to be challenged. They're breaking their own rules.
Yeah, exactly. Blogs that are now removed and only stored in the Wayback Machine and so on, even though they're exactly the same kind of research as us, apparently they count as reliable sources, even though they don't exist anymore and they're not maintained. And our active research, because it's original, isn't. I can't see the difference, but it's Wikipedia politics. Wikipedia is that kind of thing you have a love-hate relationship with. You love it because it really does contain great information, but when there's something you're passionate about and it's wrong, and they keep getting it wrong, you hate it. You know, what can you do? We hate Wikipedia, we love Wikipedia. Or whatever. Okay, so back to where we were going. Let's stop hating Wikipedia. Let's get on to Wired. We were contacted by Wired magazine. Not because we were doing the podcast, just because we were active members of the forum. Some guy, I'm not going to reveal his name, but claims to be a reporter from Wired magazine, has interviewed all of us a couple of times. We've had a couple of private messages, answered a series of questions, and apparently the magazine will be out in April or May next year.
Oh, really?
So,
he never answered my question. I asked when it would be out.
Well, April or May is when I was told, which seems odd for me, you know, that much of a delay considering he's working on it several months. It's just not right. I mean, are you going to get paid that much for an article that you can spend 4 or 5 months working on it like he seems to have?
Well, I've noticed that his articles seem to be longer articles and such. And his deadline is actually just probably a week ago.
Yeah. Well, he did say his deadline was like the next morning when he PM'd me at midnight with a few last minute questions.
Yeah, me too. We actually got into a pretty long conversation about me hearing M8A, the Morris Cuban station.
Yeah, he said he was looking for that special touch bit. I hope you got it there, man. Yeah. Either way, if it gets published, have a look in Wired, either online or in the magazine, wherever it's going to end up, in April or May, because we all got interviewed because of our passionate interest in UVB and shortwave and listening to number stations in general, and there'll be an article, and we should be there under our online pseudonyms. So thank you very much, Wired. If we get in there, fantastic. Okay, moving on from that, the next one. WBNY, Commander Bunny. In America, there's plenty of shortwave pirate stations, and one of the most fun ones to listen to is WBNY, Commander Bunny, the Rodent Revolution. So you want to go to shortwavepirate.info/WBNY/. Here we will find the downloadable shows of Commander Bunny, who I am now a major fan of, because his shows are fantastic. Remind me of the Kenny Everett show from the BBC in the 1980s on radio, which were brilliantly done. So yeah, join the revolution. Listen to Commander Bunny. He's great. We love him because he broadcast episode 2 of our podcast on pirate radio across the whole of America. How cool is that?
Not very cool when you're getting hunted by the FCC.
shortwavepirate.info/WBNY. Go listen to Commander Bunny's shows. We support him 100%. Okay, next up, we're not going to record this bit right now. Danix is going to record it offline and we're going to splice it in. But Danix will be doing pronunciation of the phonetic Russian alphabet. Now, I don't speak Russian personally, so I've had a lot of trouble listening to the messages and picking out various words. Stuff like Pavel, Roman, Olga, those ones are easy. But when it's odd letters like Simon for S, and Ivan Kratsky, and then Ivan for Y or D, whichever ones they are, I still get mixed up. So what I really need to hear is someone saying 1 to 10, or 0 to 9 in Russian, with 0 to 9 listed in English as well, and A to Z in Russian, with A to Z with the NATO phonetic equivalents, so I can hear what they sound like and pick them out. Apparently, Yakov is a J. What? Yakov? J? But it's pronounced with a Y. I'm confused. So, here we go. This is Danex doing Russian phonetic alphabet for us.
So, it'll do in Russian alphabet order, which is different from normal Latin alphabet. It'll include ICAO or NATO phonetic alphabet words either. A. Alpha. Anna, Anton, Alexei. B. Bravo. Boris. V. Viktor. Vasily. G. Golf. Galina. Grigori. D. Delta. Dmitry. Daria. Y. Yelena. Not really E. It's usually Y. Ż. Żuk. Żenia. Z. Zinaida. Zoya. Zina. I. India. Ivan. I kratkę. Just J. Juliet. Ivan Kratki. Or sometimes just Kratki. K. Kilo. Kilowatt. Konstantin. L. Lima. Leonid. M. Mike. Mikhail. Maria. N. November. Nikolai. O. Oscar. Olga. P. Papa. Paweł. R. Romeo. Roman. Radio. S. Sierra. Sergej. Simeon. T. Tango. Tamara. Tatiana. U. Uniform. Uliana. F. Foxtrot. Fyodor. H. Hariton. C. Charlie. Centr. Caplia. Cze. Человек. Yes, it's more like chi. Sza. Szura. Sia. Siuka. Twardy znak. Not a letter, that's hard mark, used to make syllables sounds harder, transcribed as hash. Y. Yankee. Y. Bry. Jery. Miękki znak. Not a letter too, that's soft mark, used to soften syllables or letters, transcribed as apostrophe. E. Echo. Edward. Emilia. Echo. Not pronounced as ye. You. Yuri. Ya. Yakov. And that's all.
Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope that makes listening to the UVB messages much clearer. Right, now we have an interesting piece. Because this is a podcast about number stations, we felt we'd give you a number station to listen to. Our number station that we made. So if you want a QSL card, because we're not being broadcast, well, we are a Pirate Bunny, but that doesn't really count. But if you want a QSL card for the podcast, and the Shortwave enthusiasts should know what that is, here is our number station broadcast for you to decode. If you find the code word, send it to the email address that's in the message, and we will send you a UVB-76 and Number Stations podcast QSL card in the post. So, for those of you who are not into cryptography and are doing this for the first time, what you're going to hear is a short piece of music in a number station style, and then a voice repeating numbers and letters. Write down the numbers and letters as they're said in their groups, then try and work out what the encoding is. Because I know that a few of you are going to try this without knowing anything about cryptography at all, I've made this one extremely easy. It's not ciphered in any way. That means it's not encrypted. It's just encoded. So if you recognise the encoding format, and the particular clue here is the letters, if you recognise the coding format, you should be able to work out how to convert it very, very easily. We'll have the explanation of how to do so in the next episode, and we're going to keep producing these every episode, making them progressively more difficult, and then have the solution in the next episode. So we get to encourage you into the fascinating world of cryptography, frequency analysis, and all the other fun that comes with it. So, here is our Numbers Station broadcast.